So I'm back after a week of being down, not feeling well, under the weather. And one of the things that I took from that, one is to take better care of yourself, and two is to rest myself. Um, my work that I do in the day is very demanding. I, I've already spoken about the shift that I'm making, but I have a lot of people with hands out demanding, requesting stuff of me basically around the clock. And that shit becomes overwhelming at times. It becomes very overwhelming. It becomes to a point where you just get burnt out. And I think that's kind of what aided me in being sick. I've noticed one thing is that when people are asking something from you, whether it's professional or personal, in their mind, what they're requesting of you is number one. It is priority. It is the only thing, and no consideration is taken into what else may be being requested or demanded of you at that time. It's just, this is what I want, and give it to me. And me being, as I say, I can say it now, former people pleaser, where my objective, my priority was to make sure that I get people what they need, no one's got a frown, and just be known as that dependable person. Getting to a point where you get ran down and burnt out, it pulled me out of the thing of desiring to be a people pleaser. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to help anyone or won't do anything for anyone, but my help and requests are going to go into a queue. Most important, least important, beneficial, non-beneficial, helpful, and non-helpful. And then it don't matter if something come in, the number one priority is going to be myself. I feel like in the week where my body sat me down and made me write, read, and rest, and like make no movement, take no requests, be unable to fulfill any requests, I feel like I got the most sleep in a week than I've gotten in probably 3 years, probably since I went to visit my family down in Florida, about 3 years, and feeling rejuvenated, new ideas. I'm even seeing that just stopping doing what I think I'm fixing to do and just observing and focusing my mind on what I want, the tools, avenues, and ways are coming to me. I'm very excited because even in the midst of getting sick, I was still able to put some kind of effort and foot forward with my classwork, with making the shift. And usually when I have times like where I've had to step away because I'm not well or whatever reason, and then step back into what we call life, usually comes in with a head down, but my head is still up because again, it gives you more, it gives, more power, more motivation, knowing that you're working towards something. You're not just stepping back into this permanently. It's like, okay, let's get this wheel going. But again, I have a timeline, I have a deadline, and I'm working on what I need to do to make the change for myself. But I have learned that one part of my change is not just coming economically or with skill, but rest. Don't run yourself around in the ground, because half the time what I see is that when you're down, the world is still going to turn. Those things are still going to go on. Life is still going to happen, and that's basically how things are going to go. And if you strain and stress yourself, running yourself down, trying to please and please, half the time these people in these situations will resolve themselves. Half of them aren't as important or have as much importance as those people are placed on them. But what you should place on importance, and just take it from me, is that I let myself run myself in the ground. I don't blame going down on anybody or anything but myself, because in the balance, you have to learn boundaries, and you have to learn when to say no. And I'm the guy that just never wanted to say no, and allow things to accumulate and allow demands and demands and demands to be made. And instead of just putting a stop to it, and not just completely stopping it, but moderating it, you know, it's impossible for anybody to do everything. And there's a limit to, what people can do, and there's a limit to each one of us have our own limits. And aside from what's being requested of you, you got to live life yourself. you know, People make these demands and requests and act like hell, like I ain't out here living life just like you. But if you, and this goes back, if you don't advocate for you, if I don't advocate for myself, then who else will? I wasn't advocating for myself. So the demands and the requests just kept coming and coming. And I wasn't there to step up for myself. What I know now is that priority of changing my skill and educating myself and becoming disciplined is resting myself, not believing the hype and falling into the hype to hustle, 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 run, because your ass will be done ran yourself up into a damn hospital. And Lord knows, I wasn't too far from that. Take care of yourself, rest yourself, and enhance yourself, but also put rest up there at the top of that priority. Rest is number one, and it's not what everybody's preaching. Everybody's preaching, oh, hustle, 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 and that's cool. You want to stay disciplined and stuff, but again, you can hustle, hustle, and you can run until you ran up into an emergency room.